Hello, Lake Wannapartyers. This is the introduction to the cottage and to the weekend that'll never be forgotten. The road you end up coming in on is called West Bay Road. Our cottage is 1369. We are not the one up for sale. We would never do that.
But looking for neighbors.
But looking for neighbors if anyone is interested. This cottage was built by my grandfather way back in the day, so it is like your classic interlog cabin. As you come in from the road, you will have noticed that about 10 minutes ago you lost all cell reception. So we are truly on our own. We better get along because there's no calling for help. As you come in, you will notice that the driveway kind of splits. The left goes to our neighbors. We're on the right-hand side. There is plenty of space for parking. We fit 3 or 4 cars, but it is kind of important to just, inch up. We're not going to be pulling in and out, so it doesn't really matter. So just make sure you get as close to the boat as possible. We have some space here, and we'll make it all work out and make sure everyone fits. Don't really know what else to say about it. As you come in, it's quite easy to find the cottage. Kind of hard to miss.
Watch the rock.
Yeah,
Still note the kindling. So up the path to the left is the cottage.
Here's the cottage. Here are the facilities for the weekend. Pretty standard, really. You have toilet, you got some reading materials. Laura and I will bring toilet paper. It's actually going to be kind of interesting to see how much toilet paper 11 people is going to need.
Make sure you keep the door closed.
Keep the door closed, keep the mosquitoes out.
Wildlife apparently are attracted to the smells.
As you come up to the cottage, if someone does want to decide that the sleeping arrangements, they'd rather just set up a tent. We do have a nice area here just out front. We have our deck with our barbecue. Our barbecue, we discovered, it's a little bit older. It takes a little bit longer to cook stuff on it. I'll make sure that we have at least enough propane, or that if not, that we bring it up on the first go so we don't have to make a run into town. But yeah, so off the deck, boys, I know at night it's gonna be tempting to not want to make that 100-meter dash to the outhouse, but with so many of us, let's try not to pee off the side of the deck.
How about just don't, not try?
Just don't. Again, it's mainly animals. We don't want to attract skunks and raccoons and all that kind of stuff.
Shoes.
Yeah, so the way we figure it is with how many people we have, shoes and stuff, unless it's raining, we'll try and keep out here just to keep floor space. I do recommend flip-flops with, instead of thong flip-flops, have this style, just because it's easier to, if you have socks on, to pop it in and make a run to the outhouse. Around the side, we have sink to wash the hands after using facilities. We also have the shower. It's reserved for Shadi for 6 a.m. on the first night. We any kind of shampoo or soap and all that you bring, just make sure it's biodegradable because all the water does run off into the lake. We want to be as environmentally friendly as possible.
But it is hot.
There is
hot water.
We do have hot water, and having a nice shower sometimes is absolutely gorgeous. We'll come inside. This is the kitchen. You'll notice right away, limited counter space. So any kind of food that we're bringing that requires a lot of prep, let's try and, if you could do the prep before we come up, it would be great. As well, the fridge. Last year there were 6 of us, and we had this fridge jam-packed with food and drinks and stuff. So fridge space is at a premium. When thinking about meals, think about things that maybe don't need as much refrigeration. And on that note, if anyone has any coolers that plug in or a mini fridge that they could bring up, any kind of space that we can open up would be fantastic. This is mainly for Dean if he does come up before us. Dean, to get the hot water, or to get the water and the hot water going, the key is water pump, water heater. Throw in the fuse for the water pump first, and then once that's in, just turn on the tap, make sure the water's flowing, and once we know that the water's flowing, then we can pop in the fuses for the water heater, and that will give us hot water. But it is important to make sure that the water pump's running before we turn on the water heater. Here's the main area. It's going to be cozy for us, but it'll be a lot of fun. This is the dining room table. We have our bedrooms. For the guys that have been here before, they've kind of claimed their space from last year. Coco and Marco will be out here, which will actually be good for all of us because we can close the door and Marco can compete with the bears for who can snore the loudest. This is Laura and myself's room. Shadi and Lena have claimed the other bedroom, which kind of leaves, in terms of sleeping arrangements, leaves two options. Laura's going to carefully try and climb up to the first one, which is in the loft. We have a double bed up there and a little bit of privacy. The second option would be this main space here. We'll just clear it out, can throw a double mattress down. We have couch. Basically, there's enough floor space as well with the with this room. If we have a double mattress blown up, we can just toss it in there during the day and forget about it and make sure that we have still a seating area for everyone to play cards and do whatever.
Plastic plates and dishes too.
Oh, right. That's a good call. In the kitchen, yeah, we do have plates and everything, but with the amount of people and the amount of cleanup that will be required, we'll look at divvying up and figuring out people to bring plastic plates, dishes, utensils, and everything. I think it'll just be easier to keep the place clean overall, and then we're not spending so much time doing dishes after everything we eat. We'll come out the side. And come down to the lake.
We do have a table for Flip Cup, or what was the game that Shannon played?
I can't remember.
But Shannon, you can reteach us.
Yeah, she can reteach us. That's actually a good call for that. We are built on a big rock. It's kind of nice because bare feet, it's not pointy or sharp. Like all the rocks are pretty smooth. But at the same point in time, if it gets a little bit wet, it can get very slippery. So please be careful coming down to the dock.
Stick to the side.
And then we have the dock itself in the lake. The water is very clear. Let's try and keep it that way, and I know we're going to be having lots of food and drinks and stuff out here, but let's try and keep spillage to minimal and make sure we're not just throwing things in. I know we're all better than that. As well, we do have neighbors around. When we're in the cottage, we do feel like we're by ourselves sometimes because of all the trees, but there are neighbors, so as much as we're here to party, we're also got to kind of respect our neighbors. Once again, chairs. I had Laura pointing to me. That's right. So we do have some chairs. It would be very helpful if people could bring Muskoka chairs, if they have them, just like the folding camp chairs, just to make sure that we all can sit around and enjoy each other's company and have a few drinks and laughs.
There's some plastic ones, but they are semi-broken.
Yeah, they're semi-broken. They're a little bit sketchy. They're not very comfortable. So any chairs you guys have.
The little fold-up camp chairs would be perfect.
Yep. But this is the cottage. We can't wait to have you. It's going to be a fun weekend, and we'll see you all then. Bye, guys.